Hey guys, schoolyear here. It's been a little bit, and it's time to start posting things a little more frequently. One of the reasons I know I'll be able to do this is because the school year just ended, and this was a great school year. I had so many amazing students in my class, and I really enjoyed this school year. There were highs and there were lows, and there were moments that were just a little frustrating, but that's going to happen when you teach eighth grade. But overall, this was a great year, and three really neat things happened to end out the school year. And I just wanted to take a minute and thank all three of the people that were involved in these great things that happened. The first one, so we're coming down to the last 2 or 3 days of the school year, and I decided to go to a thrift store to buy some board games. We had already turned in the computers and we wrapped up the last of our curriculum, so it would be the perfect thing to do for the last few days of the school year. And as I was walking up the line with my 6 or 7 different random used board games that I had found, there was a lady who struck up conversation with me, and she thought, "Oh, you're having board night tonight." And when I mentioned, no, it was really for my eighth grade students at school, she talked about how much she loved having board game night and how she remembered playing all these board games when she was a kid, and she paid for all these games. I think it came to $38 or $39, but she wanted to do something for the kids in my class, and she was so grateful for my teaching school. My wife and I couldn't believe it. I wish I could have really taken the time to thank her properly, but her name was Mrs. Freeman, and what a nice lady. And Mrs. Freeman, for what it's worth, the kids loved those games. I think it really helped them have a great time to end out the school year. Next, I've got this one student that every single time I really challenged my students and stepped outside of the box and threw some different grammar things at them that wasn't necessarily in our curriculum, I had one student who struggled with it, but was always challenging herself to try to learn it. And sometimes we were talking about antonyms and synonyms, and other times it was more complex things like subject and verb agreement, particularly in the past tense or the future tense. And she wasn't getting it. And truthfully, I challenged them with some things that were quite a few grades above my teaching grade level, but we stuck to it and we just kept working at it until we learned a lot of these things. And I had the great opportunity to meet her mom during the year. And I pointed out to her that her daughter's willingness to just stick to it made me decide that I wasn't going to quit on this challenging stuff either. And we stuck with it. She was so proud of her daughter. And throughout the year, we communicated on a few different times. And at the end of the year, she gave me the most thoughtful gift. She gave me a really nice shirt that she had clearly taken the time to shop for. And I tried it on over my shirt in front of her daughter, and we could see it was just a little too short. And we weren't sure what to do. But I want you to know, for the mom of A.O., that my son fits in that shirt perfectly. And you're the mother of a teenager. I'm the son of a teenager that is at this age where he's trying to go for certain looks. And I just want you to know that that shirt is so appreciated and that my son is going to wear that. And I'm going to be proud of that every time I see him wearing it. I'm always going to think of you and your daughter. But thanks for the opportunity for me to get to meet and teach your daughter this year. And the last one, again, it was another parent that was just so above and beyond with her appreciativeness. But it wasn't so much the gift. First of all, Mrs. W., thank you so much for the $25 gift card to the Roadhouse. I wouldn't have brought it up here except that when I gave your daughter the thank you card, when I wanted to thank her for this gift, it was on the same day that we had field day and our dance for the eighth grader send-off. And I'm afraid that the thank you card might not have made it home. So in case it didn't, thank you so much for that gift card for my family and I. But that's not what I wanted to bring up. What I wanted to tell you was just how special of an experience I was able to have because I taught both of your daughters. Now, your daughter this year told me at the end of the school year that her older sister was in my first class 5 years prior. So she just finished her first year of college at Florida A&M. And that her sister told her that I was her favorite teacher. And coincidentally, now the younger sister that I just taught this year, I was her favorite teacher also. And Mrs. W., you're doing such an amazing job raising these two young women. And I'm kind of proud because I could not be more diametrically opposed in age, gender, race, ethnicity, however you want to look at things, than these two young women that are going to grow up to be such amazing leaders in our world. Yet both of them, completely without knowing it, viewed me as their favorite teacher. And Mrs. Williams, they're such bright, individuals, and even though they're so unique and different from each other, you're doing such a great job of raising them. And again, thank you for the opportunity that I was able to meet and teach both of your daughters. I hope there's future Mrs. W siblings that might be on their way down the road. Anyhow, once again, as if teaching was not rewarding enough, I get to have these great moments that get to happen for me, and then I get to share them with you guys. All I'm going to ask you to do is to help me continue to grow this Stories by Scoot thing just by continuing to subscribe, like, and share for more Scoot Malaire.